It's why you train so hard year in and year out to be ready for moments like that. And I know I didn't end my season last year so well in the same building. And I knew once I saw one go in and I got my feet under me, I was going to let it go until I missed. And luckily for me, I missed that quarter, and I think that helped us separate and hold on to that lead, obviously, for the rest of the night.
No doubt. Now, you and AD combined for 50, and there's a bunch of guys that made a finals run on this team and know what this is about. I think that gets underestimated, again, in the midst of all the chatter. And what do you lean into, Clay, as you had to take on a very talented and young Memphis team on Friday night that, again, might catch people off guard if they're asleep?
Well, this was a great test for us. I mean, Sacramento's crowd is one of the best in the league, and it was electric in here to start the night. And this is what's going to prepare us to come when we go to Memphis. We know how talented that group is, and they have a great home court. But like you said, Scott, a lot of these guys have had Spiles experience, and a lot of guys are hungry to have an experience like that. And when you combine our young athletes with the veterans we have, we can hopefully continue this season and give it everything we have, because we want to give the city of Dallas something to be proud of, at least, especially with our energy and effort. We're going to go to Memphis and lay it all out there, and that's all we can ask.
That'll be electric too. But you guys have been down this road before, man. Clay, it's always a pleasure to watch you do what you do and to visit with you, man. Stay well until we talk again, all right?
Thanks, Scott. It did feel good to exercise those demons in your man.
I bet it did. I bet it did. Buckets, baby, buckets. The Mavs advanced to take on the Grizzlies for the 8th seed Friday night on ESPN. We'll see you when that one's done. Memphis played Golden State close to tonight, nearly overcoming a 20-point deficit before ultimately falling about 121-116. It'll be the 5th game between Dallas and Memphis this season. Grizzlies won 3 out of the 4. Last 2 meetings occurred after the Doncic trade. Memphis took both by an average of 23, but the context is always important. A bit of back-to-back with one team on a 5-game and 6-night bender. The loser of Friday night's team is going to join the rest of the non-playoff teams. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. The winner gets to take on the wagon that is the Thunder. Memphis dropped all 4. The Mavs only team with a winning record against them. Legs, I don't know if you can win a game in the playoffs in the second quarter, but 44-19 and 10 of 20 from 3 in that first half for Dallas, leaning on the vets. Felt like they largely took that building out of it. You were there. Is that a fair assessment?
Very fair, Scott. They turned off the electricity in this building. And there was a run by the Kings at the end of the first quarter where this place really was starting to erupt. And what happened in the second quarter changed what was going to happen for the rest of the night. It wasn't just the heater that Clay got on. He also had some help on that end of the floor. But really, it was defensively what Dallas did to Sacramento during that quarter. 10 turnovers forced, and these weren't unforced. This was Dallas with their length and their speed and their physicality around the rim. They just absolutely suffocated Sacramento in that quarter, set the tone there. That led to their success on the other end of the floor. So, no, it's not an over-exaggeration to say that this game was the second quarter, and Dallas dominated on both ends.
You know, in talking to Clay, Legs, this team's got championship DNA through a lot of guys. They made a finals run. We all understand who they traded. But in Clay and AD, you've got guys who've done it, right? You got a coach who's done it. And they've also been just decimated by injury, yes, but the group has played together. At some point, they figure out, all right, this is who we got. Do they have enough to go to Memphis and not just compete, but potentially win that game? What's your assessment of that?
Well, yeah, based on what I saw tonight, I mean, defensively, that's what it's going to take against the team of Memphis. It's going to be a little bit of a different challenge for them than what they saw tonight. Sacramento is a team that plays with a ton of pace, and it was important in this game against Dallas with the 2 bigs to do it. You can't just change your identity overnight, even though you make it a priority. Memphis does play with a lot of pace. They're going to get up the floor earlier against the double big lineup, so it's a different type of challenge. But what I saw tonight out of Dallas defensively and the commitment that they had, how sharp they were with their communication, and how intent they were. They came here to do business, and they want a spot in the big games. They want a spot in the playoffs. I think, yes, what I saw tonight means they could go on the road and win a game, but it certainly won't be easy against a very good Memphis team. Dallas, super impressive tonight, though.
I'm with you. I also agree. I think Memphis is going to be a whole different hill to climb. But this is a great building they went into and won tonight. I just want to get your thought on just the overall energy that surrounds this Dallas team, man. We all understand that fan base is wounded and they are still bitter. But this group, like, what matters is the group. And I think the effort we saw from the group said, look, we get it. Y'all are pissed off, but we're trying to play here. How have they managed to sort of tune that out and focus their attention?
Yeah, well, look, I think we're all surprised that we're even in this situation because once Kyrie Irving went down and Anthony Davis was hurt at the time, I think everybody fully expected to see Anthony Davis next year and just get a fresh start, hit a reset over the summer, figure out what roster adjustments they want to make, and proceed with this guy that you acquired and giving up, Luka Doncic. But Anthony Davis fought to make it back at the end of the year. And I think in large part he wanted to come out and prove something and prove to people what he is as a player. And he's more than gotten his feet wet now. I thought tonight he looked good. He was aggressive. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but it looked like the dominant Anthony Davis on both ends that we know he can be. And so now you look at them a little bit differently than you did a few weeks ago, getting this guy back and how confident they look tonight. You mentioned Klay Thompson and AD. You know, Scott, they've got a few other guys on this roster that went to the finals a year ago. So they're used to being playoff runs, some of the guys on this roster, and playing under bright lights. They're not going to be fazed by what they see on Friday night. I mean, who knows how that game ultimately goes? But I think there's a big statement by Anthony Davis making it back to this point to at least give Dallas a chance to extend their season.
No, we understand that Luka's in LA and Kyrie's injured, but a lot of those guys that play significant blue important minutes, they got finals, they got a taste of the finals. They don't want to go out after just one win. Legs, appreciate the time. I look forward to visiting down the road throughout the family.
For sure, Scott. Good talking to you.
The first game tonight, Bulls and Heat battling for a spot against Atlanta. This is the third consecutive season these two teams have faced one another in the play. Tyler Hero in the first from everywhere. On the drive, test the paint, and now let's step back again. You can shuffle those feet, it's fine. Hero, 6 of 6 from the floor.